back, it's Catherine, Jane Catherine on Books, and today I'm going to bring you a bit of a mixture of things that I'm trying to catch up on, and also, as many of you as many of you will be aware, that David is in hospital next week for his heart op, so won't be around next week after, something like that. Oh, you can hear Nelson, you can hear him, shushy with your toy. So I'm going to cram quite a few things into today, which normally I'd probably space out a little bit more. So here we go. Black Beauty, beautiful cover, well-known children's classic, Anna Sewell. This is the new Scholastic Classic editions, and they are beautiful. I've got another one on here. I must have put it away. Oh yes, Anne of Green Gables. Anne of Green Gables, another one, Scholastics. I've read this for part of the Children's Classics read along with Victoria from Eve's Alexandria. I never read Black Beauty as a child. I have to say I didn't like it, and I love children's books, as you know. I didn't like it. I found that there was a lot of violence in there towards horses, and I know people, you know, children have to see what's happening in the real world, but we went from chapter 1, which was basically very simplistic, as if like a 9 or 10-year-old had written it for a school essay. I am a horse and I live in a field and I like eating grass. And then the next chapter, we've got a full-blown hunt going on with the horses chasing a hare and ripping his hair to bits, and then a boy's fallen off his horse and broken his neck. So sorry, didn't like that one. Next, part of my March mystery crime, we've got MC Beaton, Death of Yesterday. This is another one in Hamish Macbeth. Yeah, lovely, 3-star read for me. Nice, gentle, easy going up in the Scottish Isles with Hamish and his partner in crime. I've forgotten his name now, but he's the guy that his characterisation is coming more and more to life. And I know somebody commented last time when I was doing Cozy Crime Reads that they felt that this his police constable, or whether he's the sergeant, can't remember now, always cooking and cleaning like a little wife. He's getting quite funny. So yes, carry on with that series. Right, Radiance, Catherine M. Valente, and this will probably be somewhat controversial. What a fantastic cover. I'm very much inspired by Art Deco period. You know, a lot of the sewing and textile stuff that I've done is very much influenced by the Art Deco period, and I actually think this is an amazing, amazing cover. Unfortunately, I had to give it 2 stars. For me, it didn't match the cover. It's up for the Arthur C. Clarke Science Fiction Awards. Very unusual style. I mean, there's no doubt that Catherine M. Valente is a brilliant writer. Her prose, her writing is beautiful. This is made up of quite a different writing styles. We've got logs from journals, we've got film clips, we've got snippets from gossip columns about the film stars, and they're all put in there to bring together all the information and make up the story of the plot, which in some ways it just didn't work for me. The plot is, we've got a famous film star father who is very renowned for making silent movies. We've got his daughter who wants to really, for the times, be a bit more avant-garde. She wants to go out into the world and get a name for herself in talking movies, mainly documentaries, and a bit like investigative journalism in some respects. So we've got all these planetary influences going on. So in essence, the plot should be brilliant. but unfortunately it just didn't deliver for me. It read like pages and pages of thesaurus, beautiful writing that would have made a beautiful poetry book. Yes, I appreciate that when you are investigating, say you were looking into the past of a famous film star, you would gather evidence from different sources. And at first I thought, yes, just bear with it, we're gathering evidence so that we can get a full picture about what's gone on, and then we're going to move forward. But unfortunately, I think that the very lyrical writing overdone and spoilt the plot. And shame, yeah, some people love it. I know many give it 5-star reads, but as you know, I always give my honest opinion. And beautiful cover, it might be for you, but no, sorry, didn't like it. We've now got him rattling the cat flap. Come and sit down, Nelson. Come and sit down. Come and sit down. You're interrupting. It's worse than having kids. Right, The Orange Boy, Patrice Lawrence. This is up for a Costa Book Awards. It's up for the shortlist. I originally picked this as part of my March Mystery Challenge again. One of the things you've got to do was get a youth crime detective in a way, and with the blurb that I read, this would fit the bill. It doesn't really, in as much that I don't think there's all that much detective going on. However, what a fantastic book, fantastic 5-star reads. I know I've given a lot of 5 stars out recently because I've had some cracking books. This really highlights what is going on in today's Britain, in the cities. Gun crime, knife crime, when we get gang violence, and how good kids, I'll put that in inverted commas, get drawn into it. This is beautifully written, it's fast paced, it draws you in. I think it's a very important book for teenagers to read. And it's quite frightening actually how they are drawn in. We've got Marlon, whose brother used to be big in the gangland, as it were, and one of the great leaders, and there was an accident where he was very severely injured and received life-threatening injuries, and life-changing injuries really, and still somebody's out for revenge. His younger brother Marlon is a good egg, as it were, but he gets dragged into it all. Love the characterisations. Well worth reading. Didn't quite fit the bill, what I was expecting, but that doesn't matter. It's really important showing the serious side of what's going on in gang culture today. Right, where are we? A few announcements, or a few bits that I've hauled. Now, if you remember, not so long ago, I did a haul and a review on The Snow Rose, Lulu Taylor, new author for me, absolutely loved it. Well, called into the hospice shop today on the way home from taking Nelson down to we went down to the seafront and had a nice walk with him. Got blown away. Oh, the gales were, they're getting really whipped up here now. We're getting the snow and the cold, I think, coming over from you guys in America. But I called in to see what there was, and oh, I'm so excited. We've got The Winter Folly, which is another one of Lulu Taylor that I got on my TBR, and so excited to get that one. Next, yes, another Diane Chamberlain I found in the same shop. So as you know, I've just recently read 2 of Diane Chamberlain's and love them. This is called Kiss River, and this is very much family saga orientated. Diane Chamberlain, and she's got to solve some clues, I believe, to be able to go out and find her daughter that's missing. So yeah, I'm sure if it's like the other 2 that I've read, it'll be fabulous. So excited to get those, bit of a haul. Also, I've received this in the post. This is from Keri from Woman vs. Books. One True Thing by Anna Quindlen. You know that Keri and I are swapping once a month. We're swapping books, same as Melanie and I from Mel's Bookish Adventures, and that's exciting because then we're getting something to open every month, and yeah, give us a chance to read some things. I already showed you last week the one that I received from Melanie, and this is this sounds as if it's quite an emotional family saga where a daughter gives up a job to go and care for a dying mother, and everything that that comes out from that, the emotions and the hard reality of not always getting on with your relatives that are dying, really. So as I see, she sent me a lovely card as well. You can see that. Yeah, so that was a nice little package. And then finally, what I was looking at for my, had I been doing separately, my spiritual well-being look at books this month. And so these next two books are fitted into the category of two important reads that I read where from something really life-changing and significant brought about extraordinary experiences and changes in these people's lives. So I'd like to show you these two. Now, the first one is Bridge Between Worlds, and this is by Dan Millman. Now, you'll have heard me talk about Dan Millman before. I love his books, very philosophical. I nearly couldn't say that then, philosophical. Make you look at what's important in your life, doing some self-worth, self-empowerment, and Doug Childers. Now, reason why I say that experience that changed their lives is, in fact, that now I've got my new glasses on, so I'll have to get them. Right, I'm trying to think. He had the crash. Yeah. So Dan Millman, he had a motorbike crash which ended his Olympic dreams, and Doug Childers, who was a young writer, was attacked by armed thugs with a metal pipe. They both received terrible injuries, and so it was like their hopes and dreams had been shattered. You know, Dan was going to go for the Olympics, Doug had got a big writing career ahead of him, and yeah, we perhaps could think, right, you know, that's devastating, we'll just give up and that's it, and why has this happened to me? But they both, that changed them, changed how they thought about things, changed how they developed moving forward. And this is a wonderful book, all about belief, really, having faith, having belief, having overturned such difficult circumstances into something quite spiritual, and believing that those things happen to make a major change in their lives. So I do recommend you read that one, that's lovely. And then moving along the same lines, we've got Nostra, and this is by Jacqueline Evans. And Jacqueline, she's a lovely lady, she got in contact with me and said would I be interested in receiving a copy, because she knows that obviously I read a lot of spiritual and self-help and development books, because I do stress management with my clients and coaching and development. And I said, oh yes please, that'd be lovely. And this is fascinating, it's self-published. Oh, she sent me a gorgeous card. Just have to show you that because that was beautiful of her. A gorgeous card with it. And as you know, it's always a, you know, an honest review that I give. This really, if you're skeptic about anything to do with spiritual, things happening for a reason, spirit guides and animals helping us, this is fascinating. Now, Jacqueline, she had a few things happen actually. She had a really significant car accident, which she sort of had a premonition that something was going to happen before she got in this car, and that could quite easily have ended her life, and various other things. And then she had a near-death experience, shall we call it, following some major surgery. And although I think she'd had sort of psychic tendencies before this particular incident, that was the catalyst that really changed everything for her. And she started developing a really significant, how can we say, getting significant messages from the other side, from people that had already passed over. And when she was starting to put everything together, she was getting information about major events that were going to happen. And I think at first, like anything, you'd shrug it off and think, oh no, you know, I'm imagining this. But, you know, various things as you read in this, how she had information about the tsunami, the Boxing Day tsunami, and 9/11, and also some major, and I think mainly in the UK, but major murder cases that the police were struggling to solve, and she was given information to help the police. So yeah, fascinating read. Two fantastic books. So we've got Bridge Between Worlds and Nostra. This is self-published through Amazon, and this is, I'm not sure if it's Hay Books. No, New World Library. Nice to read the two because you can get an insight of the both. So that is those two. Quick wrap up of journaling and craft books, that sort of thing. I've this Wreck This Journal Everywhere by Keri Smith. Now Keri Smith has produced many of these type of things, journaling. I have to say, I think it's poor for the money. I think the paper's very poor. It says it's small, so you could carry it around with you and do stuff, and you know, mainly for the kids. But it's very flimsy paper. You know, put a bit of watercolour paint on that and it'll disintegrate. So she has many out there, very popular. I've got to say, sorry, I wasn't impressed with the quality, the size. Good ideas inside it, but nothing special. 50 Things to Colour, and this is mainly children's, for children, and I got this from Book People, I believe. Very nice paper. I always look for the quality of the paper if we're going to be doing drawing and colouring. For younger children, really, you know, there's large. Let's have a look at some examples. Large visions on here to be colouring in. Butterflies. We've got plants and flowers. I mean, it's for anybody really. I mean, now I've got it, I shall colour it in. It says 50 creative projects to unleash your colouring skills. So with that, I bought it thinking that it would be more for adult colouring. Yeah, no, it might be an odd thing. There's some animals on there that are a bit more intricate, but generally speaking, I think it's, but nicely coloured in, nice illustrations. £9.99. So I think if you look in comparison, this was, well, this was £6. Yeah, slightly more, but you know, this is more substantial of the two. So that's those. And then finally, I just want to show you, I've been doing a lot of textile work, and some of the things that I'm preparing for doing some altered books, which I'll show you when they're done. And also I've been doing a lot of machine embroidery on a piece that there's an exhibition coming up in York throughout the summer, the Pillowcase Project, and it's based on a poem by W.B. Is it W.B. Yeats? W.B. Yeats. I'll put on anyway if I'm wrong. I know the initials are along those lines. But just a little, I don't know if we can get a close up this, but this is just a little gift bag and some embroidery that I've done. Let's see if we can, That's one of mine for this month. So, sorry, it's been loads of stuff all in there together, but I've got a Friday's Reads that I'm going to be putting up as well for you, back to Friday's Reads, and I just wanted to bring everything together that I've been talking about over the previous few months of you know, the creativity, the spirituality, books that I've been reading, and also, you know, my fiction. Whew! So we've got to the end of that all right. We've got Nelson, who's now quietly laying on the sofa, so he's quiet. And see you again next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.